Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. Carolina Keith, regular Keith. I hate Keith. God, Keith's an idiot. Oh, Keith's egotistical. Keith's all right. Nonetheless, I'm just Keith. Good to see all of you back. Please bear with me on the stream. I'm trying to tweak in these settings. I have an ultra widescreen monitor in here, and I didn't always have this. And I didn't always have YouTube set up the way I've got it set up to like make high quality charts. It makes this camera view pixelated. So bear with me on the pixelation, okay? It doesn't really about looking at me. It's more so just about having a monologue every once in a while, right? And I want the monologue to look good. Now, when I record, top level 4K quality. Streaming, this camera view is pixelated. For whatever reason, I can't quite get it dialed in perfectly. I'm still working on it. I think it may be bit rate, but I can't turn it up but so much. You know what I mean? I do have it running off the GPU now. Nonetheless, let's get it crypto after dark. Hope everyone had a great week. Nonetheless, if you would, please go hit like. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything and subscribe. Please don't miss that. Because if you miss it, you miss out. We don't want you to miss anything here, okay? It's cheap and free and easy to hit like. It costs nothing. You just go bloop. And when you do hit that like button, you get a little dinger bell pop off. Not really, but it feels good to say that. Also note that I have the chat put back up on the live stream so everyone can see what they're saying once again. I took that off for a long time because people said they didn't want it up there. So then they asked me to put it back up there. Well, guess what? It's back up there. So we'll say hey to everyone in a moment. First, let's talk about Sniper's Alley. So you guys may wonder where Team 786, 786 Assassins, 786 Unlimited, where all this comes from. Well, now you're going to find out. What we've found through research, charting things for years, we've kind of found that the 786, 886 Fibonacci retracement level holds strong. What is Fibonacci retracement levels? What is 786? Well, that's essentially 78.5% back on the way up from which it came, or back on the way down from which it came. In this case, it's on the way back up. We had a big monster downtrend. I think we can all understand that that happened. After the big downtrend, we broke the downtrend right here. After we broke the downtrend, we did nothing but test and ride up. It took a little bit right here through the summer and the fall. Kind of sucked, but in the winter, it didn't let us down. She rebounded with the vengeance. Now it's retraced all the way back up to the 786 level that you see here and started to break in through the Sniper's Alley level of 786, 886. All right. And the reason we do this is it's easier to have more of a zone here than it is to have one exact number. All right. We've found more often than not that things aren't going to be as perfect as you want them to be. They'll be close sometimes. Sometimes they'll be extremely close. Sometimes they're so close that you wish you would have just done nothing. And sometimes, you know, maybe too close and you take it a little too far and you miss your spot. We don't want that to happen, so we do more of a zone. All right. Interestingly enough, I want to show you that this zone has been tested before. If we go back to the previous mark and previous bull market here, we do the same exact Fibonacci retracement from the top to the bottom. All right. Roughly the same amount of time here. I'm just kind of spitballing here on the time. That's not necessarily a correct Fibonacci pull with the trend. Just wanted to more show you this right here. Sniper's Alley was 13,005 to 16,000. And look what happened right there. You got that same test in the previous bear market before the bull market really started off. And you got this big pullback, and that happened during the year before halving. Now, obviously, the other side of that coin is in 2020, we made a lower high before we really took off. That was 2019 and 2020, what you see right here. This is 2019, and this is 2020, right? So you see that's a lower high. If we go back in history a little bit here, we go back to 2016, you'll see a little bit different story here. I'll pull the same Fibonacci retracement over roughly the same amount of time. And you'll see that roughly right before halving, we came up to that same 786 level. Again, a little bit below it this time. I'm talking about a fraction below it. And that's why I say what I say about that kind of stuff, all right? You don't want to get cute with this and miss it by a fraction. Just get close, right? That's all what we're about here is getting close. You don't have to be perfect. Most of you guys who watch this stream, or most of you people who watch this stream, you don't have the time to sit here and do this all day long. And I appreciate the fact that you come and watch and spend what little time you have of watching this. So important to note that this level's been hit multiple times. If I throw in some halving lines here, that's when it gets interesting, right? So we'll mark that 786 level with a little bit of a box here. How about that? I'll try to keep this under 5 minutes here too. A little bit of a box right there. All right. And our halving was, I think, July 9th back in 2016. And that would be the line that I just put on the screen right there. Right before halving, you had a peak, yeah? Just showed you the same thing over here. Right here it was 786. This one happened a little faster, yeah? Right here is halving in 2020. But nonetheless, Sniper's Alley before halving. And here we are again, Sniper's Alley before halving, which is coming up in just about 2 months. Just short of 2 months. Or right at 2 months. I think we're getting right near 60 days. Nonetheless, I wanted to show you that often this level gets hit. And the really important part of this is often this level rejects. Meaning, oftentimes when price gets up here to this Sniper's Alley level, it plays hardball, doesn't want to break, tends to get stuck, tends to freeze and stop and think about it and go, I'm not sure if I want to necessarily push through this level. Add in some confluence indicators here. Okay, Sniper's Alley is important because not only does this happen on Bitcoin, but it happens in a ton of other assets. We mark this zone out as a potential place to go every single time this happens. All right, so what kind of retrace levels would I look at here? Well, I can use some confluence indicators, or I can just look at stuff and say, hey, let's say we stop here in Sniper's Alley somewhere. Call what we have the top right now. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying that's what, for the example here. We look for retracements in the same direction the other way. Now, I don't think we go to 20,000. That seems a little bit obtuse right now. So I'm not on that camp, all right? Since we've made a new high, and we continue to push higher. This isn't even a valid fib yet. I'm just playing it for the example. I'd look to this level first at 236 right here. 39,006 or roughly 40,000. If you can fail below that, you have levels at 33 and 28. Those seem a little odd right now, and I don't really think those are necessarily going to happen at all. On a daily time frame, it just keeps pushing up and not wanting to let loose. I think you can all see that. She don't want to quit. It's just raw power, up and up and up. Gonna use up all its juice here. Here's the daily RSI. Look what usually happens when this thing turns green. It usually reverses back down, and what's happened? It's turned green. Can it stay up here and do this for a while? Yes, it can. Does it usually? No, it doesn't. Back to the weekly real quick. Same scenario here. Look at the RSI on the weekly. Whew, last time this happened was end of the bull market. End of the bull market was the last time it ran this hot. All right, so can this keep up? Sure, I mean, I guess it can, but the odds are starting to weigh in the favor of no, it can't. Interestingly enough, it's starting to look like we're not going to get a big retrace pre-halving. It's starting to look like it's going to be post-halving, much similar to what happened in 2016. And if you look what happened in 2016, after halving, we had a little bit of a pullback. Interestingly enough, I'm going to show you this, and I want you to see this and take it objectively here. Here is the last move before halving. You see that? Last scoot up before halving. Here's the low from that. Here's the high from that. So we call this a swing low and a swing high. All right, that's what that means. Swing low, swing high. Got it? Cool. So I'm going to pull fibs on this from the swing low to the swing high. I'm going to pull this over to where it kind of lines up with the trend. And what do we see? Look where this wick comes down to. 786, 886. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen because, again, that seems far-fetched at this point. That's Crystal Ball 101, and I don't want to do that. Y'all know if you come here and watch, you're not going to get Crystal Ball 101. I'm going to keep it real. So let's apply that to what we have now and see, does it make any sense at all? So I'll take my last swing low, which is here, right? Last swing high, which still is going for the time being. We don't have a swing high yet. It hasn't stopped. It's still going up. Let's see how far we could go. If I pull this to the trend line now, potentially pre-halving, we could pull back. I don't know. We don't necessarily have that slowdown just yet. If we do slow down, what are our numbers here? Well, 236 is at 50,000, 49,000 some change. 382 is at 46,000. Look where Sniper's Alley is down here, 39 to 40,000. There is precedent for that to happen. Any moving averages that could help? Look where the 200 moving average is, way down here at 35,000. It hasn't hit that 200-day moving average since October. That's running red hot on the RSI, refusing to throw red days. You realize this can't keep up. And I know all of you realize it probably can't keep up. So it's likely this thing pulls back. And when it does pull back, we're going to look for retracement in the other directions, with Sniper's Alley being what might be our last ditch effort at catching a low here, because, you know, it's kind of obvious that the time's run out to catch all the lows. Now, could that change? Yes, it could. It very much could. And I want everyone to know that this is not a guarantee. It's not financial advice. I'm just trying to get as accurate as I can with this. All right. And I'm not always going to be perfect. For what it's worth, I'm going to be off sometimes. Par for the course. Yeah. That's the way she goes. I can't control everything. I can't be hella extremely perfect. I just get close. We can look at some other stuff and add in some more confluences here. But really, I mean, when's the last time this thing just threw this many green candles in a row without breathing? The only one red candle that it threw was a minor red candle. It hasn't been a while. It's been a while since that happened. You got a good amount of divergence on your MACD. They're wide apart. RSI, like I said, overbought. It could keep going. You know, back in October, it got a little hot. And then in the summer, you know, this thing ran red hot. It was up to 89. I'm sorry, at the beginning of the year, it was up to 89 on the RSI. We saw it get higher than that before it slowed down. But 82, fairly darn high. Fairly darn high. Fear greed index is floating around high to extreme high right now, and that's greed. That greedy before having, doesn't that spell a recipe for failure? I mean, you would think, yeah, all right, but we don't have a promise of that. And I don't want to get cute and try to miss everything, okay? We don't have to be perfect. We just got to get close. And close enough is good enough for me and government work. It's good enough for me to make a lot of money. That's what I'm going to do. Would I like to be crisp, perfectly clean, and hit the number exactly on the head? Yeah. But that's also Crystal Ball 101, like I said. Hey, everybody, go hit like. There you go. 64 people on, 36 people have hit like. Go hit like. It's free. All right. Let's go say hey to everybody real fast. And in case you guys didn't know, I say hey to everyone on every live stream who puts a message up there by the 15 to 20 minute mark. I'll say hey to you. And sometimes I miss the rest of the people. But if you're in here early and you text something in the little chat box right there, I'm likely going to say hello to you and answer whatever question you probably have. What's up? Jeremy Monroe. He's not even drunk yet. Grace, good to see you. Colo, Crypto Ho. What's up, bro? Dab, what's up? Slutty Roo, what's up, ma'am? How are you? Apolora, good to see you. Look, John, Educated Dummy, good to see you, brother. Bullish CEO, what's up, my friend? Ariana, good evening, ma'am. JS, relax. Let's do this. Game Goes, what's up? Good to see you. Are we 6 months ahead of schedule in a cycle? No, we are not. We are within 2 weeks of identical time frames on every other cycle. What's within 2 weeks so far. Very, very, very close. MC, what's up? Good to see you. Burner, Justin Powers, haven't seen Mullet in quite a while. I text him. He hasn't said anything back to me. He's his own guy. He can kind of come and goes as he pleases. You know, he's his own guy. I can't really stop him or start him or make him do anything. You know what Crypto Elephant, good to see you. Gam Goes, what's up? Phonic Duck, good to see you. Guillermo, A Dubs, Blitz, Inferno Rain. I'm just Keith, for real, bro. Jill Sandwich, Cotton Cycle, what's up, Justin? Pixelation isn't bad, but you're looking very clean and not in a good way. Yeah, stretched. Yeah, so here's the problem. I can't. So that's the thing. Like, if I do full screen on mine, like to look over here, I can see that it's a little bit stretched, but mine doesn't look stretched. Right? That's the problem. And I guess you guys are in HD, but I don't know. I can't see it because I'm doing the live. I can't really see my own live stream. You know what I mean? When I look at it on the phone, like I tested it before we did this, it looked okay. It didn't look super stretched. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you. Jeff Frady, Mr. Cyanide, good to see you. Jag, what's up, brother? Zav, been here in a minute. What's up? Good to see you. Chestnut Checkers, what's up, my guy? Golden Tall Man, yo. Yo Ray, HGTV, I know what that's a hashtag for. Mr. In Between, can't stay long, have to work. No problem, bro. Good to see you. Yet we may get a retrace, and it's really hard to say to exactly what level. Thank you, Don't Want a Channel. Good. Thank you for the like, bro. That's awesome. All right, so let's roll here. What's up, Dreamer? Danny Deep Pockets. I missed you guys. Sorry. Sir Sigma, what's up? Good to see you. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about the stretched. That sucks. Like, I'm pretty sure. Let me look real fast. Like, I changed it to, yeah, I mean, I got it to 16:9 on the aspect ratio. If you're watching on a monitor, it might be different, but I got it set to 16:9 because most people watch from their phones, right? That's why I did what I did, yeah. I wanted to try to get the aspect ratio as close as I could without like screwing stuff up. And since I'm on an ultra wide screen here, it looks really funky to me and it comes out way different for y'all. Oh, thank you, Ron. All right, sweet. So, all right, let's look back a little bit here on some other stuff. I've kind of noticed that some of these that made a higher low before the end of the year appear to be doing better than others. We can start with total market cap to kind of see that. All right, total market cap. Now, when we look at total market cap, you'll see that while Bitcoin is up here in Sniper's Alley, total market cap is not in Sniper's Alley. Do you see that? It's different. It's different. This is all the way down in the golden pocket still, has not made it to Sniper's Alley. It's still hovering around 1.9 to 2 trillion. Now, if you were a betting man, would you bet on the number 1.9 or 2? Right? So I would bet on 2, which is the 71 fib right here, which is another solid 4 to 5% up. 4 to 5% of a trillion, that's roughly about 100 million. So, yeah, we're not far from getting to that 2 trillion mark. And honestly, that may be the spot where everything stops and thinks about it for a minute. I have halving marked here. There you go, 15th. That's close. It's weekly charts. It's not going to give me the 18th, which I think is actually the halving date. But, you know, this thing's done a lot already. It still hasn't got to Sniper's Alley, though. Still in the golden pocket. And the golden pocket is a more respected fib level that had resistance here that I honestly expected the thing to get caught up in. And it for what it's worth, has gotten caught up in it. I would have expected these candles right here to be bearish. They weren't. Sorry. I thought they were going to be, and they wasn't. What's up, Bill Childers? Vintage Pennies, what's up? Good to see you guys. Farood, what's up? We can look at total 2 and see that it's not even close. All right, what is total market cap 2? Total market cap 2 is everything minus crypto, Bitcoin. Everything else, though. Everything else crypto, just no Bitcoin. All right, just now above the 50 fib, $858 billion. All right, so 618 is at roughly 1 trillion. One could do the math and say that this is likely to get near the $1 trillion mark. Fair enough? Would you agree that that's a fair assessment, that we're likely to get to the $1 trillion mark here before we fall off or get near it. I think that's what's going to happen. So I've still got a good bit of money in the market. I don't have everything in the market like I would like, but I'm trying to be more risk adverse here and not be a degenerate, right? I'm trying to play it safe and not be an idiot. I realize you guys would like me to buy everything, but that's not what I can do. I have to be the responsible one over here who's more careful and thoughtful and plans out better. While some of you guys can take massive risks, y'all are watching everything I do and like fine tooth combing it. So I've got to try to be like on the mark perfect. You know what I mean? It's not always simple and doesn't always work out the way I want it to, but typically I have to be a little bit more careful. So I'm going to de-risk when necessary. Total 3. And you saw that the last total 2 was above the 50 fib. Look at this. Total 3 hasn't even gotten to the 50 fib yet. See that? She's stuck still under $569 billion. Now, is there anything to really stop this thing from running up here to this box with the lock in it I've got, which I'm considering that level of lock? There's not a ton of resistance to stop it, is there? You see that? That's about it. Some wicks and a little bit up here. That's why I'm able to say that this level up here at around 750 billion is a lock. Now, what'll happen after that? That's debatable. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right. I've got all these fibs pulled with that last high that happened at the beginning of the year. This is the 2023 high over here. See how that's a higher low? a higher high. Very cool. I wanted to see higher highs to prove a bullish scenario. You're going to see some charts that don't have this. They didn't make a higher high. All right. To give you an example of that, how about we look at CRV? This is why I get a little bit of a pause here, because some of these, whether I would like them to do well or not, you can kind of tell they may struggle. This is the 2023 high, and this is the 2023 high again. Wasn't high, was it? It made a lower high. Not great. That's a downtrend, not an uptrend. Whereas you saw some, like ICP, let me pull up a better one. ICP, USD, T. You saw some like ICP make a higher high. See that? This is 2023. And here is the end of 2023 making a higher high. You get the vibe there that this is going to make a higher high and a higher low, and a higher high and a higher low. And it's going to make a nice little trend up the whole way. All right. Very cool. I'm here for it and I want to see it. When is this high going to finish? Well, we're not sure on that yet. Where's the low going to come in? Well, we'll know that when it starts. Unfortunately, it still hasn't started yet. ICP is literally killing me over here. I sold this because it showed bearish. Then it snapped and went the other direction. So now I'm stuck waiting, hoping that it goes back up to where I want it to, because I rebought. Then it went flat again. So I chased this one a little bit, and I probably shouldn't have. All right. So now I'm stuck kind of waiting. And in case you're wondering, someone else asked me about this. All-time high for ICP is actually up at near $700, and a lot of the charts don't reflect that. All right. So know that before you get all into it and try to pull a fib on this using these candles here. The charts don't reflect the actual all-time high of roughly $700. I'm using the tip of that January 24 right there as the anchor point, and that happens to lean me out here toward the spring, summer of 2025. Now, we'll see how far that plays out when the rest of this happens. If we can adjust this or not, we'll find out. We actually need to have a good solidified high right here to prove it. But that also lends to the theory that, mid to late October-ish area in 2025 will be the end of the bull market for most things. Not everything. Some stuff will try to keep going like it did last time, but that's not a guarantee. So these are some markings I made of what I kind of feel like are probabilities. I think the $23 level is a lock for ICP, only a matter of time for what it's worth. 80% chance we get to the $44 level. I still think that's pretty much a lock. 80% is pretty darn good lock, right? The $80 to $85 level here, that's the last resistance. All right, that's about 60%. I understand how high the market cap will be on this. You don't have to tell me. I know. Okay, I promise. I've done the math. I understand how high the market cap would be. Understand that it at one point was that high. Okay, can we agree with that? For it to have the market cap it had at $700, at one point that much money was in. I understand things change. Just know that I'm fully aware of the market cap and I'm fully aware of the possibility. So this up here at Sniper's Alley is an insane number, and I'm really dicey on that. I'll increase or decrease these odds as we go along to try to like dial this in a little better here on ICP. You know, I watched this and bought this all the way down here at the very, 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 very bottom. And I've already rebought what I had in it, so I haven't lost anything. I've only made money here. But, you know, I'd like to get in back with this with a lower price here. Here's ICP dominance. All right, here's just the grip over the ecosystem, I guess is the best way to put it. The grip over everything. If you look here, dominance got clean rejected by this 236 fib, lines up almost perfect with the downtrend line, and it appears that it wants to make a higher low here. This may be the signal for us to rebuy. Thing is, as the dominance is falling, the chart continues to go up. I understand. More so, you need to understand that doesn't mean that the price can't go up as well. It just means that ICP's grip over the market was slipping. So it's going to go more in line with what Bitcoin's doing and less in line with whatever it wants to do, if that makes sense to you. That's the point of dominance charts, to show you how much power they have over the market. And for what it's worth, ICP is less than 1% of the market. If we look at something different like Bitcoin dominance, 53% of the market, and for what it's worth, holding over this 50 fib here, hasn't let go just yet. I pulled these fibs to halving because looking back at the last dominance chart in the last cycle, you got all the way up to the golden pocket fibs here, which was intriguing. Now, if I flip this to linear mode, because I want to leave all possibilities open and leave all stones turned, this got the perfect golden pocket hit at 73% and then faded back from there. All right, here we are. Same thing here. We're at 53% now. The difference here is we may not get all the way back up there because there's so many more cryptos now. I'm pushed on whether that actually happens, and I highly doubt we get back up to that 70% level just yet. We may not ever get back up to that level again. On linear mode, the 56% level is halfway, right? Well, get back up there. It hasn't gotten back up there just yet on linear mode. Log mode looks to be the more clear-cut answer here. 56 to 57% seems to be the high end here. We'll see. We'll see, right? I'm still pushed on this. I'm watching it close, right? I'm ready to make a move as soon as I can. But for now, I've got to stay put where I'm at and just ride it out. For now, everything's trying to buy and everything's trying to sell, and you've got some flip-flops on the chart a little bit here and there. We'll go through some of my positions here in a minute. Let's see if there's any questions. What's up, Guillermo? Good to see you, brother. Good. What do you think about AI or Web3 coins? So first and foremost, I don't care about narratives. I could give a shit. If the chart looks good, the chart looks good. I don't really care what the narrative is. Everyone's going to make up what they like, and that's mostly just because they like a certain coin. I tend to shy away from all that. I don't really care what the coin is. If the chart looks good, I'll look at the chart and see what I think it can do based on support, resistance, and some basic indicators. We can always look at the market cap and go, oh man, this thing's got a $1 million market cap. This could magnify greatly, or it's got a $14 billion market cap. It's going to be much harder for this thing to do crazy numbers, right? That's simple stuff. So please be mindful that none of these coins actually have a purpose. They're all lying about all that. It's mostly just people playing on your heartstrings. But Tau I didn't buy. I know some people who got some special preferred treatment there, so no thank you on that one. ABT. So a guy came in the Discord and decided to try to clown me about this one. I'm kind of glad he did because it brought up an interesting point. We talked about this on a live stream, many live streams ago, that I said there was no reason to buy this yet. Other than the fact there was that support, there was no reason to buy it. And it did break out and did run very, very well, as you see here. This thing running this fast, this far, hey, everybody, that's not sustainable, right? Look at the RSI, 96. Yes, please tell me that that's going to keep going. I highly doubt it. And if you want to tell me about the team and their partnerships, I don't want to hear it. If you've not watched a documentary on Netflix called Bitcoin just yet, Bitcoin or whatever it is, yeah, the team is shit. They always tell you how good the team is just to find out that the team is shit. Everyone likes to lie. Everyone likes to cheat and steal. So I don't care about the team. I really don't. Partnerships. Hey, everybody, I have a partnership with Discord. I have a partnership with OBS Studio. I have a partnership with YouTube. There you go. I guess I have good fundamentals. Doesn't make sense, right? Exactly. We can say we have partnerships because we call someone on the phone and shake hands with them. That doesn't mean anything to me, right? So thing is, this thing ran to Sniper's Alley. Look at the chart. She ran dead to Sniper's Alley and paused. Man, I think this thing is going to get hung up here in Sniper's Alley. Do I think it can go farther later on? I do. You know, the upper level extensions here of 4, 9, 8, and 16 are all going to be possibilities as we move forward. That's a 16x from here if it were to go all the way up there. Now, is it going to do it overnight? I don't think so. Again, this ran scorching hot. It's still going for what it's worth. It won't sell off. Look at this MACD. I'm supposed to say that's a buy. No, I'm not. Sorry. It can't keep going. Don't get me wrong. I'm here for it. I want everyone to succeed. Even if you think I'm this person that I'm not, I want you to succeed. I really do. I want everybody who watches or has watched this live stream to make it. I am you. I was the dude on the other side of the screen watching people before this, okay? So I know it's not easy to make these decisions. It's not easy to come on here and look at what I'm saying and take note of it and make something happen. It's easy to criticize. Everybody can do that. Just note that most of you aren't on this side of the screen doing this because you don't want to be the guy in the limelight. People think they want to be in the limelight. Then they get in the limelight and they go, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Much like me, right? You start second guessing what you're doing when you get on these situations like this. And that's exactly why I say that, right? Yeah, I hear you, JP. Yeah, Guillermo said right there, you know, some bearish divergence a little bit there on Bitcoin dominance, which is important too, right? And when halving hits, we typically lose Bitcoin dominance abruptly. 56 is the number you've been thinking too. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really care whether it's AI or not. I'm just here to get the gains. People are going to say what they want to say and all that shit. You know, we find the chart and let it roll. Thank you, JP. Yeah. So yeah, we can look at bundles bets. So believe it or not, bundles bets has held up extremely well. Again, you look at these and you think, oh, that's going to sell off. Hasn't sold off. It doesn't want to. Pretty wild, right? Now, I'll say this. It's tried multiple times to sell off, and every single time Bundles Bets has tried to sell off, it's gotten gobbled up by buys. You had this big one right here when the person who didn't know how to use MetaMask sold it all at once, incurred 50% slippage and lost half of everything they sold. This one was more organic right here, this wick. That was a more organic sell-off. But again, gobbled up and made a hammer candle. All holding right around this red line that you see right here, which is roughly about 12.5 bucks. We started buying this way down here at $2.70. I've added multiple buys, sold it, and then rebought it again. I haven't sold anything that I've got yet. It's all just sitting in my MetaMask. So, you know, I'm hanging on this like I said I would for the long haul. You know, I know all you guys know I don't hodl. That's not what I do. But you know, if I think something's long term going to be a big thing, like I told you guys, I wasn't going to swing trade everything, and I don't want to swing trade this one. When I rebuy Matic, I'd like to take this and stake it over on staking.bundlesbets.com, which is pretty cool. You can go over there and make a liquidity pair, stake it. I think they're paying around 600% APR or APY. I have to double check that. You can go double check it yourself. Staking.bundlesbets.com. That's on you. But again, I still think the upper levels are in play here. If I don't take these wicks, let's do it with and without the wicks, shall we? So I've got a top and a bottom formation here. I've got this first level at Sniper's Alley around 25 bucks, which I think is a target. Also, $43 is 1618, and this is 1618 on a big Fibonacci retracement, and I'll show you that now. All right, so right here is our old high to our swing low, right? All right, looky there. So that $46 level right there, 1618, at green box, I'm going to pull that same fib that I just pulled on the shorter path here. All right, pull it like that. Grab everything. You could argue that it just hasn't broken trend yet. You could argue that maybe it has broken trend, whatever. $43 and $46. I have confluence of this area right here. I do believe that's going to happen. In fact, I believe in the bull market, this probably gets to triple figures for what it's worth. I think it probably gets to triple figures. This is a very low market cap coin. It's single digit millions. All right. Because of that, it has a fast ability to multiply rapidly, like I just talked about. ICP's got billions of dollars in it. This only has single digit millions. And for that reason, there's a high probability that this thing's going to magnify and multiply itself very rapidly. I don't want to miss out in this. So I'm going to try to get my very, very best chance at this I can of absolutely grabbing as much as I can and hanging on to it. This is my biggest position in crypto. Yes, it's my biggest position in crypto. I'm not afraid to say that. And like I've told you guys, I know some of you are tracking my MetaMask address, so you'll see that I haven't sold any. That's how I see bundles bets. Let's drop down to the daily and look at some indicators to go with that. Didn't mean to draw that. My bad. Also, for what it's worth, I'm glad that some of the influencers, whom I know, yeah, Bund is Bundles Bets. It's available on Polygon QuickSwap. You have to swap Matic for it. That's the only available pair currently. But here's the kicker. If I throw up, so I put some moving averages here on Bundles Bets. It's still stuck under the 50-day moving average, and I would like this to improve. Let me zoom in here where you can see it a little better. There we go. That yellow line right there is the 50-day moving average. The the purple and green right there, that's the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA, which is okay. That's good. You want to see the price above that. Problem, you'd like to also see it above the yellow 50-day moving average. It's right there. Hasn't gone just yet. You do have vertical trend lines. You do have the 100 moving average down here, which is still above this red line that has been support. Worst case, Ontario. Yes, I said Ontario. It's a joke. $8 because that 200 moving average is still sweeping up. If all assets were to run to the 200, that's where I think it would go to, in which case I would probably buy more of this. All right. I think this is going to do really well. Again, sports betting, if you're into narratives, which I don't care about, but sports betting is really popping right now, and it's only going to get bigger. All right. Next year, around Super Bowl time, this platform is going to go wild. Don't say I didn't tell you so. I bet you see some crazy numbers out of Bundles Bets. All right. Makes sense? Let me go see what you guys said. With demand from ETFs outstripping daily mining, is that something to take into account or ignore? Yes and no, Dab, because what you're reading is a report from people who pretend to be experts and aren't really. Um, Also, please understand that ETFs are not going to give you the actual numbers of what they're doing. They always fudge these numbers. That's how they make their margins, by not telling you the actual numbers and then revising them later. All right, so be careful with that. But yes, demand will be good, especially when halving happens. We're going to see an interesting play here. When halving happens, the demand increases even more because there's less tokens out there being mined. So that means the tokens that are mined are worth more. We may see a correction after halving, but it won't be very big. All right, it'll be a quick one, and it'll be over, and then we'll be on our way, I think. All right, so we'll see what happens. It's either going to be right before or right after halving. With the RSI as high as it is and the MACD as high as it is, you would think it would be before, but hey man, no crystal ball over here. I'm just ready with stable coins when it happens. Let's see. I can't wait for Node Season 3.0. Yeah. A lot of people have asked me about nodes as well. I still have some pre-search nodes, and I still have my Gala node. It pays me like 700 Gala a day. I still have, I think that's it. Gala, pre-search. Yeah, that's it. I don't run a Flux node anymore, or Morpheus, Mysterium nodes. I don't run those anymore. Obviously, strong nodes started as a real thing and then became a scam much later. No strong X ones, that's a scam. Stronger, that's a joke. I know a lot of people have started to talk about the other ones that were around that were copies of strong, like let's give them their 5 seconds to fame. Thor, come on. You shouldn't tax me to buy and sell. Literally, taxes have never been a good thing ever. Name me one time the government did a good job with taxes, right? No, don't tax me on my own money that I'm already going to pay a tax on. No, thank you. Taxation with representation equals war. All right. All the other ones, again, they're all fake. They're not real. Don't give me about any red light crap. I don't want to hear it. It's all scams, dude. If they ran a Ponzi to fund their blockchain, then their blockchain is ran by a Ponzi. I don't want to hear it, right? That being said, there are some real ones out there, right? I'm not going to do storage chain. This one down here, Wrap Store. Not going to do it. Thought about it, changed my mind. You see, I bought and sold right there. Very, very tiny gain. Look what happened afterwards. No, thank you. I'm good. I don't really need to hear about the team. I don't want to hear about it. You're good. You're good. Let's do Matic real quick. How about that? I'm not going to do a ton of assets. You guys know that we do these live streams here. By the way, we do these live streams here for everyone to come and hang out and watch, right? We also do multiple streams over in our Discord, wap.com/team786. We are counting down the days till we close our Discord to new people. If you are not in, you will not be able to get in. And eventually we're going to stop doing these YouTube streams and you have to find someone else to tell you the truth. All right. I'm not going to come on here and bullshit you. You guys know me. You know I don't have time for it. I'm going to come on here and shoot straight with you. There's going to be a time when I stop coming on here. All right. When that time comes, I need you to be prepared. Where you're going to go to get your realistic opinions. Where you're going to get where someone won't bullshit you. Where you're going to go. Who you're going to follow. Who you're going to watch. Going to go watch more blockchain Becker? No, thank you. I don't want to hear your hopium. I'm not cool with it. So come hang out with us. It's a 30-day free trial. You can sign up for free. It's 30 days for free. wap.com/team786. What are you waiting on? We'll see you over there. So, Matic. I got the Binance chart here, and I actually have a Gann grid pulled up on this one. Let's have a gander at it, shall we? And we shall. It appears as though this Gann grid is already played out. Honestly, I thought this would come over a little bit farther, but still chopping along since Bitcoin made its move up. This next necessarily wasn't a clean retrace. It might have just done a 50 and bounced. And since that's the case, it looks like this Gann grid is a little bit ruined, but you see it is respecting the 236 a little bit right here at 91 cents. We did jump all the moving averages. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. As long as it stays above these moving averages, that would be great. I don't think it'll deviate too far. I think we're probably going to do something like this, and it'll sit on top of these moving averages, kind of wait on the 200. Everything will kind of flow over here a little bit, sit along the moving averages, and then we're going to make a move right over here somewhere, right? If you look at this Gann grid, it kind of shows you horizontal fibs. And let me show you that now. Matic USD, and we'll use, how about we use Bitstamp? Fair enough. I'm not sure that that's the correct one to use, but we'll use Bitstamp. So horizontal fibs. So horizontal fibs work a lot like vertical fibs do. It's slightly different. So what you're going to see here is I've already got my horizontal fibs set up a certain type of way. You need to follow these settings after you do it. I'm going to grab the swing low. I'm going to grab the swing high. I'm going to pull this like it was a trend line. See that? I'm looking for a trend here. I think that was the trend line right there. I think that's the trend line right there. So that's where I stopped. Here are my settings for you to see. I'm using the same settings that you would use on a standard set of fibs. All right. I don't have 886 in there. That's it. That's the only one I don't have in there. So if I pull these, you kind of see waypoints along the way. This is still trucking along and hasn't failed yet. So we're going to see some action around March 15th, and we're going to see some action around April 25th. Being that this thing is still charging along, it makes me think that our high will be in March, and it makes me think that our low will be somewhere over here in April. Or vice versa. We get our low in March, and we get our high somewhere over here in April. It makes sense. That's all the horizontal fibs do for you, is give you a bit of a timeline. The interesting thing is when you put them on something like Bitcoin. That's when it gets really wild. I'll do that now for you. We'll use Bitstamp. All right, let me, didn't mean to do that. Let me erase this. I'll show you one more time here. Let's do the overall trend. Should be really cool. All right, I'll grab the top and the bottom, which was swing high, swing low on a large scale time frame. I'll grab the top. I'll grab the bottom. And I'm going to use that trend line just like I normally would. What if I do a 4-year cycle? Because we know Bitcoin has 4-year cycles, yeah? Fair enough. 21 was November, so let's go. 22, 23, 24, 25. 4 years. So if I do November 25, okay, cool. I get waypoints along the way. April 29th looks like an important line shortly after halving. Yeah. 18th is halving. 29th is shortly after halving. So this is our next most important waypoint. You see we had an important waypoint down here that marked our bottom. We had a waypoint right here in between these two peaks. We had a waypoint that we just passed in November. Up and up and up. All this does is give us an important timeline cycle. So our one line will probably be the end, roughly near our end of our 4-year cycle. And it tells us when to rebuy right over here at this fib line. Hey, everybody, the date now is February 15th, 2024. February 15th, 2024. I'm telling you now that the likely time to buy after the bull market is over and the bear market starts will be December in 2026. Roughly the end of December in 2026 will be our low point for our next cycle. This will be where I look to re-enter when all is said and done. That might not be the perfect time, but it'll be close. All right, makes sense? That's how I do fibs in a horizontal plane instead of a vertical plane. If you do them both, you get a Gann grid. We can use Gann grid some other time. Just kind of wanted you to see how that played out. I also recorded that so I can put it in the Discord later for everybody. So that information will be in the Discord for everyone to see. All right. It's like going to be like a 5-minute little video. And it's not perfect. Again, I can go like deeper in on it or whatever. But that's the point, is just to kind of show you what I'm talking about there. What's up, Rob? Good to see you. What's up, Cannon Barron? Good to see you, bro. Tim Webb, what's up, bro? He said, F the government. You know what's up. Don Manna, good to see you, bro. Thank you, Danny Deep Pockets. What's your take on Clemson University. All right. So interesting enough, if your daughter's going to Clemson, she's going to do great, dude. Clemson is a great school. They have really, really good job placement history. Everyone from South Carolina, you're either a South Carolina fan or a Clemson fan. There's no in between. And for North Carolina, you're either a Tar Heel fan or a Duke fan. There's no in between. No one really cares about North Carolina State. I don't want to hear it. Heath, you're going to watch the stream later. I don't want to hear it. My buddy Shane, if you're watching this, you know what's up. But Clemson's a good school. It's a little bit of a party school. A lot of pretty women. He'll enjoy it. You say your daughter wants to go or your son wants to go? Let's see. I mean, if your daughter wants to go again, there's a lot of like-minded people that'll be just like her. It's a nice place. It's a little warm down here. Obviously, it's over there near the Georgia line, part of it, but you can go to the lake and chill. You know, that's part of the Southern style here, right? A little bit hot. We go to the lake and chill. We shoot the bull with our friends. Take it kind of slow. And for what it's worth, you take it kind of slow down at Clemson. Like JP said, the only university I'm going to is University of UNC. The thing is, sometimes those majors don't line up, so I understand. Melvin and Alvin are here. Shout out. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Melvin and Alvin. Alvin's brother. Good to see you, brother. Que pasa? So Vegas in October. I don't know we're going to do Vegas. We might end up doing Miami at the beginning of 2026-ish. Haven't made up our minds yet. The admins and mods will get together and come up with something, and we'll plan ahead of time. But we're nowhere near there yet, right? I got a lot of stuff to do in between then. But when we get to that point, obviously everyone's invited. Okay? When we get to that point. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, bro. Go Heels, exactly. Mel's watching with me for the first time. Good stuff, dude. Yeah, what you'll see, Mel, is this is mathematical probabilities. There's no guessing on this channel. You're going to watch other ones, and they're going to guess and tell you this stuff that's happening, but they don't really have any evidence. It's mostly just shit they found on Twitter. Everything you see in here is real and raw. And we do it that way on purpose because we have no time for bullshit. Let me pull up a couple that I was looking over. So, new ones that I recently bought. JTO, Jito, however you say this. I don't really care. JTO, it's on Coinbase. No, it's on Coinbase. No. JTO. Yeah, it's on Coinbase. So I bought this because it had a little bit of a breakout right here, right? Now, obviously, it's not moving real fast, not doing a whole bunch of nothing, and I didn't buy a shit ton. I only put in roughly a little bit less than 1% of my money in this one. But I do have a feeling that a lot of this new stuff will do really well. We learned this last time. So I know that, you can look at this big wick and say, oh God, well, we can make whatever you want out of those big wicks. Point is, we have a little bit of a breakout happening here, and I wanted to be a part of it, so I went ahead and bought it. There are a lot of them that look like this. Here are a few of them. JTO looks like this. Jewel looks similar. All right. Not the same, but similar. All right. DE.FI or just DeFi over on KuCoin. It looks similar. All right. A little bit worse, but similar. Tune USD on KuCoin. Kind of similar. All right. Newer. Shrapnel. This is some blockchain game. Don't ask me about the details. I don't care. I just buy charts. But it did break trend and it did make quite a little run here. So I went ahead and bought me some. I didn't buy a ton. I only bought $250 worth. A0. Why did I buy A0? The market cap is a little bit high, but this chart is very small and compact and easily can break all-time high. And once it does break all-time high, it's probably going to do pretty darn well. So I'm here for it. I like the wicks that I see, the buy pressure. It looks like it wants to try to turn the corner here. I'm here for it. And that's in a weekly chart. Look at it bouncing the 50-week moving average, that yellow line right there. Staying above that is crucial. You'll note that there is no bull market for any coin unless it stays above that yellow 50 moving average, and it's weekly because it's a weekly chart. For you guys who don't have a whole lot of time to chart or a whole lot of time to trade, the weekly charts are easy and smooth to use. Now, they will be a little bit herky-jerky for you because you're going to miss a lot of percent on the top and bottom, but you're still going to do better than most. Let's be real. Most people will never sell anything. They're only going to buy and buy and buy and buy, and they think they're going to get rich that way because that's what people did in the stock market. That's not really what people did in the stock market either. That's just what you're told. We already know how that's not how it works. Countless people come up to me after the bear market was started, begging me and telling me, help them out and give them money because they didn't sell and they didn't listen and they thought I was wrong. They thought I was full of shit. That's fine. I understand. You can be skeptical. I'm some dude on the internet. I would be skeptical as well. Right. You'll come to find out everything I'm doing is data driven. I don't care about anything but the data. All right. If the data isn't right, the data isn't right. Aave. So recently bought Aave here. Why did I buy Aave? Well, again, it appears to be trying to break out here. It hasn't broken over the moving averages like some have. However, what I want you to note, same thing. Here's the first high of 2023. And here's the second high of 2023. You see that? That, folks, is a higher high. Excellent. So it appears we may be making our higher low. If that's the case, then we got another higher high coming up down later here, right? So just got to wait it out. Some of the gains here on Aave are a little lower, right? The chart doesn't have screaming meanie gains like some of these other ones. But still could do well. It's $93. You know, it's about 400% up here to Sniper's Alley. But seeing as how this thing may are at a higher high already, there's a possibility that it goes farther than that and breaks up and goes into all-time high and makes a new high up there somewhere. If that happens, folks, that's a 12 to 20 to 30x possibility. Do I think that'll happen on most coins? No, I do not. Aave is a DeFi lending platform. If you don't know how it works, you buy Ethereum, you take it over there, you lend it to them, you can borrow against it, you get paid an APR for lending it, and you can borrow against it as collateral and then take your money that you used to borrow against it and buy more stuff. Caution, you can get liquidated, you can get ruined. Don't blame me, I warned you. All right. Interesting ones that I think can do well that haven't done much yet. Here's Vara, V-A-R-A. This is available on Coinbase. I found out about this because they constantly message me wanting me to do shit to get free Vara. They do it so much so that the woman decided she would do it on hers. She did it on her Coinbase. She went ahead and set it up and got some kind of free dollars, or there's something floating. I got it. Some kind of free dollars or whatever. I don't know exactly what she got, but it intrigued me. So I pulled up the chart and I said, hey, this isn't very much chart. It hasn't done much yet. It appears to be holding trend. It appears to have broken the downtrend. If we can pull it a different way if we want and say, no, it didn't. Whatever, not the point. Point is, it hasn't done much. It's sitting real low on support. I think I'll take a swing at this. So I've started buying it. I think I might have bought a little bit prematurely, and that's okay. You see, my first one was 675. Second one, 700. So my average is right in the middle there. I'm cool with leaving this one alone for a little bit and see what happens. I could DCA one more time, and I may do it. This was just money that I had on Coinbase. Kind of why I did it, okay? There's a possibility this does really well. I'm not sure what the market cap is on it. You can go look it up. Whatever. Some others. Let's pick some. Demetra. All right, Demetra is an interesting chart here, folks. So, recently we were watching this one really, really closely. If you look at the Bollinger Bands on this one, look at that. Look how tight those Bollinger Bands are. Those are screaming tight Bollinger Bands. Even on the weekly time frame, they're getting tight. Now here's where it gets iffy. That weekly 100 moving average pushing down on it kind of spooks me a little bit. And you see how it's getting pinned underneath it and doesn't want to break it just yet. I'd like to see it break above that and get up here. Obviously it didn't do it yet, right? So keep your eyes open. This one has a shit ton of percent in it. That's why I bring it up. It's got crazy returns. It doesn't have that high of a market cap. That being said, a lot of these altcoins tend to go later. So for what it's worth, play it as the ball lies. Do it yourself. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. Listen, thank you all for being here. That's been an hour. It went by really fast. You guys all kick ass, and thank every single one of you for coming on here. We do this live every Thursday. Again, like I said, we won't do this forever. Right here's the link, wap.com/team786. If you're not there, when we close the doors, sorry, you may not ever get back in. All right. That's all there is to it. We don't like to be that way, but that's just how it is. We got to keep the kids out. It's going to get crazy and get nuts in here. And we're an adult Discord, no kids allowed. So, we spare ourselves from the immaturity. Thank you guys. I'll see you on Thursday next week. Y'all have been awesome. Thank you for all the likes and all the comments. Let me leave you with this. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. And remember, no one else told you they love you. Keith loves you. Y'all be good. I'll see you on the next stream. Sky's the limit. Peace.